Welcome back to our third lesson. Today we're going to be talking about integrity. But let me tell you a story first. I was a freshman in high school and I was taking chemistry. The teacher at the time had been around since my dad went to that school. Okay, so at that time he was kind of old. And he had the same lessons, the same tests for every single year. So it just became customary that when you got to this chemistry class, the grade above you would pass down what they called dun, 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 the chemistry Bible. Bible. In that chemistry Bible, you had notes to every single assignment. You had all of the test answers. You had all of the lab assignments, everything you need in order to pass this class. So I thought, this would be a good opportunity for me to get a good grade. This would be the perfect opportunity for my parents to be so proud of me, because now I could pass this class. And I remember taking the test. We could use open notes, open book, whatever we needed in order to pass this test. And so I took out my notes and I started taking the test, okay? Using the chemistry Bible. I got an A on that test and I was pretty proud of myself. But was it my grade? It was not my grade. It was someone else's grade. I was okay with this for a good 2 weeks until it started to eat at me. I was very hesitant and very guilty that I had done something wrong because I had just cheated, right? It's not my grade. So I went and told my parents, and eventually my parents made me tell my teacher. Now what happened is that when I told my teacher that I had done this, he made me take the test again. But this time without any notes, without open book, it was just me and science. So I took the test again and I failed. And guess what? That ended up being my grade. So what does that have to do with integrity? In order for us to understand this a little more, let's see what famous people have to say about what integrity is. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Albert Einstein. Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. C.S. Lewis. Real integrity is doing the right thing, knowing that nobody's going to know whether you did it or not. That's from Oprah. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "The time is always right to do what's right." And my favorite, Dr. Seuss. Today I shall behave as if this is the day I will be remembered. Some of you have heard about King David in the Bible. And King David was seen as a man of God's own heart. But if you know anything about David, David messed up. David did a lot of things that he shouldn't have done, that he lied about, that he killed someone for. It's easy to look at others and wonder how they could put themselves in this type of situation. But let's be honest with ourselves. All of us have fallen and been less than honest, if we're being truly honest. It took David coming face to face with what he had done to realize that he had messed up big time and he had blown his integrity. Think about a time when you stabbed a friend in the back, right? Or think about a time that you told your parents you finished homework and you really didn't. Or watched a video that you know you shouldn't have watched. You reason with yourself and tell yourself that it's just a small thing. But that small thing grows and grows and grows. But there's one thing that we tend to forget. There is someone that does know, and that's God. I'm shaming you all right now.
Boom sauce!
What if I were to tell you that I had a video of your deepest, darkest secret? Dun, dun, dun! What would you do? What would you do in order to not have that leak? What are you willing to do? What would you worry about showing up in this video? What would you worry about other people seeing? This imaginary test will help answer, do I live with integrity?
Okay, I might need to lower it a little bit, but
Okay.
That's cool.
So ask anyone that has made a bad choice and they will tell you that it started off really small. They never realized it was that moment behind that closed door or that text message that they compromised who they were. In those moments, you realize that who you are and who God wants you to be are very far apart. The good news is that God can help. God is there for you. But first, you have to let him help. And you have to be honest with not only yourself, but with him. Psalms 139, 23 through 24, it says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you, and lead me along the path of everlasting life." So I'm going to read you this prayer again once more. And I want you to spend some time quietly letting God search your heart. You ready? Let's do this. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you, and lead me along the path of everlasting life. I'm going to challenge you to pray this prayer every night that we are in this quarantine. All right, I'm going to challenge you to do that and see how God helps you live the life of integrity that he is calling each of us to live. Living a life of integrity is possible, but only with God showing us our true selves every step of the way. So now I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I want you to think about these, and we'll talk about them on Wednesday night. Which integrity quote that I mentioned earlier stuck with you the most? Don't forget you can rewind the video because this isn't live. Think about also, what is your biggest challenge that you face keeping your integrity?